The story is called The Tongue-Cut Sparrow, and it goes way back into old Japanese myth and fairy tale. There was once an old man and his wife, an old woman. And he was a kind, sweet, and gentle-hearted man, a farmer. And he had, as a pet, a beautiful sparrow who loved him dearly and chirped and sang and laughed anytime they were together. And his wife was a bitter bitch.
End of story.
How do you translate that last phrase into Japanese?
Into Japanese. I was wondering that too.
Let's ask somebody else. She hated this sparrow, possibly because her husband spent so much love on his beautiful pet. There wasn't much left over for her. One day, while he was out in the fields, his wife, the old woman, came to do her laundry and found all of her rice paste that she had ground herself and mixed herself and had taken all day to starch her linens was gone. And she raged about the house. Where is my rice paste? What has happened to my rice paste? And the little sparrow, who was so very clever, flew up to her and bowed her head and said, "Mistress, I am so sorry. I thought that rice paste was a treat for me, and I ate it." The old woman was furious. And she knew that if she tried to complain to her husband, he would say, "Well, you can always make more rice paste. You have 2 hands. I work in the fields all day. My little sparrow deserves a treat." So she decided to completely bypass this scenario and cut out the sparrow's tongue. And the sparrow flew away. What would you do if you had found yourself in that situation? Leave. So the old man came home from the fields the next day, and he was tired and sweaty, and he was looking forward to spending some lovely time singing with his beautiful sparrow. But he came home and the house was silent. "Where is my little sparrow?" he called. "Where is my little sparrow?" There was nobody there but his wife.
Whoa.
Frying some itty-bitty thing. "Dinner? Since you've been in the fields all day." "What is this?" "I've cut out your sparrow's tongue. It was too much for me." "Well, what would you do had you come home and your significant other had cut out the tongue of your beloved pet?"
Murder.
Cut out her tongue.
Murder. Murder. Your Excellency, do you hear that?
The old man was not quite that far. But instead, he cursed his wife, and he went off into the woods to find his beloved sparrow, his Suzumi-san. He went out into the woods. "Oh, where is my beautiful sparrow? Where is my Suzumi-san?" And another sparrow heard him. "Peep, peep, peep, peep. Are you the old man who is the master to my beloved mistress?" "I am. Do you know where my beloved Suzumi-san is?" "I can take you to her," said the sparrow. And away it flew, with the old man stumbling along behind as quickly as he could, until at last they came to a beautiful palace, the likes he had never seen before, and never would again. For this was no ordinary palace, it was a fairy castle. Who was this Suzumi-san, this talking sparrow? She was a fairy maiden. And she had spent her years with him, for he was so kind and sweet and gentle. So when he approached, she, in her human presenting, like some of us don't have genders, some of us don't have bodies. She, in her human form, said, "Oh, welcome, welcome, old man."
She's been saving that all war.
Vengeance is a dish that is best served cold. Like a sparrow tongue.
Yeah, that was it. That was the moment.
She could speak, for as a fairy she had grown her tongue back. Please, you have been so kind to me all of my life with you. Welcome into my home. Let my family care for you. Let us sing and dance and feast with you. They brought him to his beautiful table spread with foods the like he had never seen before, being a poor farmer. They filled his belly and they filled his heart with song and dance. His beautiful sparrow, Suzumi-san, got up and danced for him, her fans waving in the air like the wings she had always known her with. And when the time came for him to leave, she said, "Please, master mine, accept a gift from my household." And she had 2 boxes. One that was small, one that was very large. And he thought to himself, I am an old and frail man. I probably can't carry the large box. And besides, it is so large. What if it has all the wealth that she has in it? I can't do that to her. And so he took the small box and he thanked Miss Suzumi-san. And he went home. When he got home, his wife demanded to know where he had been. She had been slaving in this house, doing the laundry, cooking the food, nobody there to appreciate her. What was in this box? And so they opened the box, and inside was treasure. There were ropes of pearls and gold and silver and beautiful gems. And he told her the whole story of how he had found their lovely little sparrow in a palace. And did she say, "Oh my goodness, I was so wrong. What a generous sparrow." No, she said, "You idiot. There was a bigger box. We could have been more rich. We could have built our own palace. I will fix your mistake." And so she went into the woods and she said, "Where is the tongue-cut sparrow? Where is the sparrow whose tongue I cut myself?" And another sparrow said, "Oh, hey. You must be my mistress's former mistress." "I am indeed," she said. "Take me to see this mistress of yours." So the old woman was taken to the palace, and though Suzumi-san was very upset with her, she still, as is the generous duty of a host, greeted her politely. But before she could invite her to a feast, the old woman said, "No need to waste your food and your tricks on me. I'm just here to correct my husband's mistake. Give me the big box." Suzumi-san said, "Oh, well, of course. After all, you were my mistress. I do owe you a certain amount of respect. Take the big box, and may fortune be with you." So the old woman loaded it onto her back, for Suzumi-san would give her no servants to carry it, and walked home every laden step until she could see her house on the next hill over, but oh, that was so far. So she thought, I will rest for a moment. And she set the box down and thought, I wonder what's in this box. It's a pretty big and heavy box. I bet there's gold. I bet there's rubies the size of my fists. Oh, I bet there's beautiful gowns in there. And so she opened the box and was immediately set upon by demons. She never made it home. And the old man, he vaguely wondered where she might be. But the house was so much quieter. The next day, his little tongue-cut sparrow, tongue fully regrown, sang him awake. She could not live with him any longer, for now he knew her true nature, but she could visit him every morning, and they could sing together every evening. And he never had to worry about his wife again.